Everybody out at Elmer Square Park for the DDLR championship game between Hot Stuff and Crush. Little ground ball by Drew over to Coates, guns it over in time. So the shortstop Coates made the play. I get him and his brother, the left fielder, Pat and Tom, mixed up. I want to say Pat's the outfielder. But so here's Anthony Stacy. So little bobble there by Coates, but he showed you he's got a cannon. And there's a humpback down the line, fair ball. That ball's rolling and it hits a fan, and they're going to give him a ground rule triple. So not a lot of out of play territory. They played a fence line down. And that was a rocket by Stacy, just fair down the left field line. So 1 out, ground rule triple. And it brings up Katie. So Crush beat the Fat Kids by 3 to get here. We showed you the Hot Stuff game. And in the tournament, Katie, all she does is drive and run. She gets enough. She grounds a single into left. And it brings up Julian Gutierrez. Again, this is the championship game for all the marbles. It's like the 7th game of a Stanley Cup or a World Series. There is no tomorrow. And we're underway here. And Julian drills it. And right on the spot is Tony Valdez. And they get the easy, unorthodox double play as the runner thought it was down and took off. So the ball was scalded by Gutierrez, just turns into a loud double play. As Sin came in to run for Katie, and she was off on the crack of the bat. So our first look at the Crush Club, they've been playing very well. And it's going to be leading off Anthony, Tommy, and Ashley. Anybody gets on, Tony. So it's been a great weekend out here, very well run. When we showed you the Hot Stuff semifinal game against TTF, that game and the tournament was running about 30-40 minutes behind, but the last semifinal game actually started early, and this game was scheduled for a 7 o'clock start. It just started a minute or two after that, and most of the delay there was just the teams clearing out of the one dugout. So it's kind of unusual when you run an all-day tournament that you're basically on time, but 1-1 will do that, and the co-ed games do run a little quicker. So here's Anthony leading off for Crush. And they got a couple of kids on this Crush team that played on the Bridgeport or the Armor Square Crush. High fly ball, and Julian Gutierrez, with his back up against the center fielder on the consolation bracket, makes the catch. So Anthony flies out, and it brings up Tommy Coates, who's playing left field. So Pat Coates is the infielder. And one place we've noticed where the ball is really flying on this diamond is right down that left field line. And there he walks the dog into right field. The right fielder for Hot Stuff was playing him in the next zip code. And Tommy Coates just walks the dog into right field. But Tommy and Pat have both been driving the ball to left field quite a bit. And the ball has been flying in that direction. So here's Ashley. And there's strike two again. We're playing a 1-on-1 count. Women can wear mitts. The men do not. 60-foot bases. You can lead off. You can't steal. 38 feet from the rubber to the point of home plate. They are using a mat. And home plate is considered part of the mat. It's supposed to be 6'12" on the arc, but they've been a little loose with that. And we can swing heavy bats up to 38. And Ashley ground ball to second. Eddie Gil Ramos will just take the out at first. So she pushes Tommy Coates into second. And it brings up Tony Valdez. Of course, Tony, a member of the circus team, and he delivers. As he drives it up the alley in right center, going to be an easy double. Coates scored without a play, and we're all knotted at one here in the bottom of the first. And it brings up Christine Eberhardt. And these co-ed games have been a little odd. We go through innings where nobody scores, and then we have innings where everybody scores. And there's a drop at first. Chrissy had a little look of surprise on her face, but she ain't throwing it back. As it looked like it was going to be a routine play, hit right in the palm of the mitt and squirted out. So here's Vince. And Vince pounds it on the ground to Eddie, and they make that play to get out of the inning. But we are tied. Vince grounds out to end the inning. So we're going to head to the top of the second. Tied at 1. So it's been a nice weekend tournament. It is starting to get a little chilly now. It feels like it's closer to 60 than 70 right now. Fortunately, not a whole lot of wind. Top of the trees, not really blowing too much. And that brings up PJ with Eddie on deck, and then Jose Godinez. And there's a little spinner. Christine won't be able to get to that. 2 strikes on PJ. I'm not quite sure who's yelling, but little ground ball there, short center, picks it up and throws to first for out number 1. And here comes Eddie Gil Ramos. Again, championship game. Dennis De La Rosa Scholarship Tournament, DDLR as they call it. Armour Square Park, and big high hop. Coates stays with it and just poured it over. So Pat Coates got a big high bounce. Stayed right with it and threw a missile to first. And Jose launches one on his horse. Coates makes the catch. That looked like trouble the minute it left the bat. Got on his horse and made the catch like a wide receiver. It doesn't get better than that, folks. Robbing Jose Godinez of extra bases. We head to the bottom of the second. So the Coates brothers had themselves an inning. Crazy hop to shortstop Coates. stayed with it and poured it over. And then left fielder Coach tracking down a bomb. So it's going to be Sam, Joey, and Pat. So little leather being thrown in that top of the second by Crush. So that's the way to start off a championship game. And there's a high fly ball. Drew running over, tippy-toeing the out-of-play line. And they're going to call her out. So here's Joey. And Joey, a little ground ball single up the middle. As that ball snaked through the infield. 1 out hit. Here comes Pat Coates. And we have seen Pat drive the ball to left a couple of times. And there he slashes it. That ball was wicked, a little right at the feet of Stacy. He kind of turned his head. That ball hit something and shot past him. Stand-up double for Pat. And Anthony's still kind of looking at the ground, shaking his head over there. So you got second and third now for Mary, and she just hits a little roller, gets one in, gets one over. And the Crush takes a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the second. We've seen a few women today really execute very well in spots. And they're back to their top now with Anthony. And Anthony drives it into the outfield. That's going to score another run. Now it gets past the center fielder. He's going to cruise and slams the brakes on. Thought a little better of it. Good job there backing up the center fielder to get that ball back in by Drew. Threw a rocket right to the cutoff man. Anthony slammed the brakes on, and now here's Tommy Coates. Made the spectacular running catch of the Jose Godinez rocket in the top half of this inning. And he comes through with another base hit. And now the ball gets bobbled, and he's going to jog into second. So 4-1 here. And Hot Stuff had a game off, sat around in the cool weather, and getting off to a little bit of a sluggish start here. And here's Ashley, another runner in scoring position here. Crush has put up a 3 spot. And that was a close game they played with the Fat Kids. And in the bottom of the 6th, they kind of got going a little bit, and that'll be pitch and catch. Katie over to Nicole for the 3rd out. And they were actually losing that game fairly late. And the last half of that ball game, they started to swing the bats a little bit better, including a couple of insurance runs in the bottom of the 6th. So they seem like maybe their offense has started to come to life a little bit. And of course, coming off of a win, you're lathered up a little bit. So it's going to be Nicole, Nephew, and Sin. I don't think the coach. Hey, Coach, you didn't learn this kid's name yet? It's still Nephew? So apparently it's some guy's nephew on the team. And Coach put him on the card there as Nephew. So here's a high pop. Coates is over and makes the catch. Tommy Coates. course, the rumor in the grapevine is that both Coates brothers were being recruited for flashback for next year. Don't know if it's a done deal yet. And here's a swing by nephew, fly ball to Ashley in center. She puts it away. Yeah, Greg, it is a gorgeous day. Little on the chilly side if you're playing softball. Well, actually, if you're a player, it's pretty good. Football players love this weather and brings up sin. And this park tucked right next to great field where the White Sox play, very picturesque. Even though the White Sox have had their problems, the rate is actually a pretty nice ballpark. Best food in Major League Baseball. So here's Sin now with 2 outs. She pops it up and the pitcher makes the play. So they can't do anything in the top half here. And we head to the bottom of the third. 4-1. Crush. They made a lot of changes to the rate, which has had various names since it opened. And they used to have another 8 or 10 rows at the top, and they got rid of them. It was so steep, the vendors wouldn't even want to go up there. And they used to have to help walk people down if they were sitting in the top of the third deck, because you were almost looking straight down at the field. Very disorienting. I had playoff tickets against Toronto at the top of the foul pole in the third deck. Bob Euchre seats. So it's going to be Tony, Chrissy, and Vince here in the bottom of the third. Crush looking for a ship. And I got a chance to walk around and talk to a few of the co-ed teams today. Ground ball skips past Godinez. Valdez leadoff single. And of course, if you are a co-ed mushball team, September 26th and 27th at Melrose, the SSA National Championship Tournament. Not too late to jump in. Scroll down, check out the flyer. Jump in, the water's warm. So here's Chrissy Eberhardt. And she tops it to the pitcher. Over to Jose for 1, the relay in time. Double play. So the leadoff single wiped out. And that's going to bring up Vince.
My bad, Tony.
So Chrissy not too happy with her as she grounded it right up the middle. Nice job by the pitcher to make a good, strong throw. And Vince slashes it, and what a play! First baseman snagged it. And let's see if we got the replay. That ball was hit hard right in our living room almost. And look at that, folks. Made it look routine. So we head to the 4th inning. Game flying by right now. As Vince tried to get that past Katie at first, she wasn't having none of it. So I don't know if that was Katie. I thought Katie was playing third base. So top of the lineup here is going to be Drew, Ant, and Katie. and she walks the male. Now there is no woman player behind Drew, so there's no automatic walk being given. So leadoff man on here, top of the fourth, hot stuff down 3. He tries to go big down that line. That's going to be well out of play. And of course, next weekend we'll have the men's 50 and over out at Melrose Park. A lot of guys in that tournament in the Hall of Fame. It's always nice to see them go out there and battle. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Joey can't make the play. And that'll put the second base runner on, and here's Katie. And she swings off of the third baseman. Great job there by Pat Coates. He followed the ball. Third baseman popped it in the air, couldn't secure it. Pat Coates ran over there, kind of lunged for it and shoveled it to Vince, and they get the lead runner. Katie put another good swing on it. But a good defensive play, and here's Julian Gutierrez, and he drills it. Shortstop steps and throws. Nice dig by Christine.
Go back, Katie, go back.
And I guess they called him safe at second. I don't know. That bag is buried by dust. Stacy did not score. Still 4-1. Again, it's so dusty here. You can barely see the bases. And here's PJ now. So after starting out first and second, ground ball to Coates from his knees in time. So they do get out of the inning. A lot of times you would have liked to have had that double play on Gutierrez, because you would have had a female leading off, and just the way a lot of these lineups are, sometimes you would rather start with a female hitter than a male hitter. And Julian hit it hard. So halfway through, 4-1. It's going to be Sam, Joey, and then Pat Coates. Getting back to that play where Katie got robbed. I talk all the time about, as an infielder, you want to follow the ball, especially in a no-glove game, because you never know when the ball might get deflected like that. And there's a swing, and Anthony got a hand on it. And I had to move out of the way. Easier said than done at this point in the game. Dave. Anthony got a hand on a wicked hit there by Sam, and it brings up Joey. So they get the courtesy runner with Ashley. And Joey trying to go down that right field line, way foul. We still got a game going on the other diamond. See, way down there, there's a tent. And there's people over here watching. And down the left field line, there's a couple of teams. So a lot of people hanging out. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Jose can't make the play. Nice job there. And that's what I'm talking about there. Anthony anticipating either having to cover second, was in the neighborhood following the ball. Jose kind of fumbled it, but Anthony reaches out and makes the play. So here's Pat Coates now. And Pat Coates hammers the ball into left field. So Pat hammers a tomahawk into left field, puts a pair of base runners on now for Mary. With Anthony on deck. So leading by 3, Crush looking for more. One out here. And Mary hits it out to center. Julian's there, no tags. And it brings up the top of the lineup and Anthony. And Anthony, hard ground ball, and it sneaks through. Joey had to jump and avoid it. Coates ain't stopping. He'll score. And getting all the way to third is Anthony. So with 2 outs, everybody was running. As he just powered this through the infield, you see Joey having to jump. And Coates wasn't stopping. He was running all the way. So they push out to 6-1 here. And that's going to bring up Tommy Coates. Tommy didn't like that. I think he thought the pitch was high, but it hit the mat. And now she goes even higher. And because the plate's a part of the strike, so many hitters are conditioned not to swing if they think it's short. And there he just muscled a high pitch into the hole. I think Anthony would have had a hard time had he even caught that. And it's 7-1 Crush, and it brings Ashley up. And Ashley, a little spinner, and it's going to sneak through. Coates is flying to third, throw offline, and Ashley steals the bag. So Crush being very aggressive, running the bases, playing defense. It brings up Tony Valdez. And a little more than halfway through the game, and that one gets through. 1 run is in, and now there's a bobble, and Ashley scores. 9-1 Crush. I'm not sure if they have the mercy rule, but they certainly are rubbing up against it, and it brings up Christine Everhart. Yeah, it is a long day, and some of these teams are certainly feeling it. But one advantage they had is that weather-wise, it was on the cool side, and Christine, that ball caught by Eddie Gil Ramos, so they finally end the inning. As 9 batters came up, 5 scored, and as we head to the top of the 5th, Crush in control. And if they are playing mercy rule, if you're Crush, you're looking for a goose egg and then to maybe push a couple across and be done in 5. If you're hot stuff, you'd like to move away from this 8-run deficit and get a couple and buy yourselves a little more time. So it's going to be Eddie Gil Ramos, Jose Godinez, and Nicole. It's really... So Eddie Gil Ramos, a little humpback up the alley. Coates is on it, fires it in. And Joey just reached out with a foot and knocked it down. So Eddie Gil Ramos is looking for courtesy, but I don't think they. Yeah, Julian Gutierrez is going to come out. So here's Jose Godinez. And he goes inside out, long run, and it drops in front of Valdez. Gutierrez into third, runners on the corner with nobody out. He brings up the first baseman, Nicole. With nephew on deck, and she hits a ground ball to Coates over to Joey, and they spin the double play, and up 9-1. They're more than happy to give up a run for the 2 outs. So it brings up nephew. Sorry, I keep laughing. With Sin on deck. Well, the interesting thing, people probably don't remember this, but, Julian Gutierrez, of course, flashback. But Jose Godinez actually played about, I believe it was a 1 year with flashback. There's a deflection. Vince tried. He kind of knew he wasn't going to have a play there. I think the pitcher might have also been in his throwing lane. He didn't want to drill her, so he just kind of half-heartedly flipped it over. So there's a 2-out base runner for Sin. And Sin, a little roller over to Joey, bobbles it, snaps off the throw, and they just nip her at first. So we head to the bottom of the fifth, 9-2. In this championship game, Crush leading. So it's going to be Vince, Sam, and Joey coming up here. Crush pushes 3 across. The game might be over. We are live from the DDLR Memorial Scholarship Tournament. Good job by Brian Koronkowski, Eric. Sure, I'm missing a couple of other guys that put this thing together. South side of Chicago. And there's a leadoff base hit. So Vince just reached out, stayed down, did not stand up on that swing. We talk about that all the time. Was able to keep the bat level and roped it into left center field. So here's the pitcher, Sam. Sam goes up top on his horse. See, that's a little bit of a mistake there. Because the left fielder, the ball looked like it was crossing in foul territory almost. He had a beat on it. If he drops it, he's probably going to kick it out of play. But the angle running away back to the infield, you need to tag and grab a base, and Joey just hammers it over third base. So first and second here with 1 out. And it brings that Pat Coates. A long one here would end the ball game, assuming they're playing mercy rule. And the wind has picked up here. feels like it's blowing from right to left. It feels like it's right at my back as I'm looking in at the pitcher. And there he just kind of, I don't know what, that was an odd swing. And he's laughing. That ball had some crazy English on it. Looked like he was trying to tomahawk it. And like he may have just kind of got a weird slice on it. So now, Pat Coates represents the potential winner, 1 out, 2nd and 3rd, with Mary. Ten to 2 here. I think Brian might have stole a kiss there. I don't know if I saw that right. I don't think his girl's going to be happy about that. And Mary punches a base hit. 1 run is in. A little problem. So Mary comes through, makes it 11 to 2. 1 out. Now you could walk Anthony, the game winner's on 3rd. You could walk Anthony because Tommy Coates is on deck. 1st and 3rd, I should say. Of course, a double play would get you out of here. Fly ball, I believe, will end the game. And there's a bullet line drive. And Coates is going to score, and that'll do it. So they do play mercy run, 12 to 2. That was all Crush in this ball game as they dominate from start to finish, and they walk away with the championship. So we're going to take pictures. Hot stuff. Can we get a picture at home plate? Are you doing a ceremony or anything?
No, I'm just gonna.
You got trophies?
No, no trophy, no trophy.
Okay.
Just a photo and a check, you know?
Okay, well, hey, money plays. So we're going to click off, folks, and we will be putting pictures online. Catch you later. Thanks for